History has immortalized the founding fathers as these political geniuses that came up with this innovative government system so perfect that we dare not change. Let's be honest. As most great feats throughout history have taught us, that usually behind every man, there's a woman that gave him the ideas. That's right. This country also has a founding mother, and if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have the Bill of Rights today. Mercy Otis Warren was one of the sharpest constitutional critics of the era. She published the Observations of the New Constitution in 1788 under the pen name A Columbian Patriot, and the girl did not hold back. She was an anti-federalist, one that was against the concentrating of power without boundaries. She was unique in the fact that she grew up in a politically powerful family, while at the time women were not allowed to receive a formal education. She would sit in on her brother's lessons and quickly learn the dynamics of government and politics. The point was that many of the men now presenting themselves as saviors of the nation either did not help when it mattered, meaning they didn't fight in the war, or were motivated by self interest and are now trying to sell a centralized power as if it was patriotism. One side made up of seasonal political operators, people that she saw as secretive, calculating. The other side was made up of ambitious younger men who are intoxicated by the dream of status, advancement, and glory. But they were too inexperienced or self interested to see what they were really building. She also demanded that there must be a Bill of Rights. And her arguments laid the intellectual groundwork each right had. Those that were not, such as terms for the presidency, the Senate not being elected by the people, were eventually turned into future amendments. But there are some key points in her argument that they simply ignored. One of which was that the judiciary was way too vague and too unlimited in its power. The executive and legislation branch was too ambiguous and eventually would blend the power lines. And she also demanded for them to be an open and transparent government, stating they must tell the people what the Constitution actually meant instead of trying to sell them on a promise that they had no intention of keeping. They did not. They pushed it through quick and fast without ever clarifying exactly what the Constitution was actually stating, which was a government meant to protect power and elitism instead of building a government and a nation for the actual people. So, as a woman called out the government in 1788 and meant to correct it, a woman's going to do it in 2026. What they chose to ignore, I have written to correct, and I need your help in getting them passed. You guys need to go to citizensbeforepolitics.org and vote on a bill of structural integrity that corrects the mistakes that the government ignored and fulfill the promise that they did not keep. I'm giving you the opportunity to do something about it. Let's make this country the way it was meant to be.